everyone, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. Rather than review nappies, I'm going to talk to you all about the different types of nappies. There's quite a lot of jargon within cloth nappies, all-in-ones, all-in-twos, two-parters, pockets, liners, boosters, pre-folds, flats, shaped. A lot of terminology to get your head around, and I'm going to hopefully make this really simple to know what everyone's on about. So I'm deliberately not going to mention any brands within this video. Everything I'm using I either have reviewed or will review in the future. Take a look at my channel. First, we're going to look at two-parters. Simply, a two-parter nappy consists of an absorbent part and a waterproof layer. Let's look at the waterproof layer first. So there's two sort of main options, either a popper wrap like this one, just a simple bit of PUL, normally a pretty colour pattern, or a Velcro fastening wrap. Again, does the same thing. These normally either come in size, which both of these are, or birth to potty, so you'll get poppers along the front to adjust the sizing as your baby grows. But underneath those, you'll need something to be absorbent because this is literally just a piece of PUL. So there's a whole host of options. You have terry squares, which if your parents cloth nappied you, they will recognise. This actually is one my mum used on me, so it's 30 plus years old and still actually in really good condition, and I do occasionally put it on my baby. You also have pre-folds. This is a newborn one. These are particularly good for newborns because they're quite small. So whereas a terry is pieces of terry cotton, this is multiple layers of muslin. You can also use your typical muslin burp cloths, not really the ones off the high street, just because they're quite thin and not so absorbent, but you can buy ones that are more specifically for nappies. These are even better on newborns because they're so much thinner than a pre-fold, which is multiple layers. You'll get a better fit and it won't be quite so bulky. All of these options are pretty much indestructible as far as nappies go. As I said, this one is 30 plus years old, still as good as anything. This is actually a muslin I had for my teenage daughter. I'll use as a burp cloth, but again, still in pretty good condition. So any of these sorts of nappies, which are typically referred to as flats, will either need to be secured in their folded position by a wrap, in which case you'll need a wrap that fits snugly against the baby, or you can use a nappy nipper, which I've attempted to put one on here. I do believe we don't have any teddies in this house. So a nappy nipper is like a stretchy bit of plastic, and it has a series of teeth. So this is what we can use nowadays instead of the traditional nappy pins. It's secured simply by pushing the teeth slightly into the fabric, and then you can stretch it over to get a good fit, and again there. So this gives you a really good snug fit on your baby. This is good if you're using a wrap that isn't so tight, and again particularly good for a newborn because even with a fitted small wrap you might not be able to get it quite tight enough to hold the nappy in place. You're going to get better containment if you can get the flat around the baby nicely. The other option within a two-parter is rather than use a flat, you can use a shaped nappy, which is kind of the same thing, but it is already cut and designed to be a nappy. These again would come in either a popper fastening like this one, or with Velcro on the tabs, or you can even get without a fastening, and then you would fasten again by using your nappy nipper. The advantage of these is you've got elasticated legs, so you do get a bit better containment, and because this is shaped and fitted to the baby on its own, you can have a baggier or looser wrap over the top. You don't need to rely on that to hold the nappy in place. Two-parters are really great. If you're cloth nappying overnight, you would definitely need some sort of two-part system. They're quick drying because you're removing the absorbent part from the PUL, so the air can really circulate this and get it nice and dry. It also works out a lot cheaper because you'll need less wraps, maybe 5 of these to say 20 of these if you were doing full-time cloth napping just in two-parters. And as terries in particular and pre-folds are really cheap, this can save you a lot of money. And the absorbent parts, again if you use terries and pre-folds etc., they're pretty much indestructible, so will last forever, multiple babies, passed down for generations. Next we're going to look at all-in-ones. These come in either a Velcro or popper fastening. There's pros and cons to both. I've got a mixture of both within my stash. Essentially, this is a two-parter, kind of all stuck together. You've got your waterproof outer layer, and then inside you have your absorbent part. They're slower to dry than a two-parter because it's harder for the air to circulate. You're just relying on it getting to one side of the nappy, really. They tend to come in two sizes, either a really tiny newborn size, or most of them are birth to potty, when you get the rise poppers on the front to adjust the size. They're particularly good for childcare or anyone looking after your baby who might not be quite on board with cloth, because they're so similar to a disposable to pop it on and fasten it just like you would a disposable. Also really good for out and about. You can prep it with any liners and boosters etc. you need before you leave the house. Put them in your change bag and then they're just ready to go when you're out and about. Also lots of cute prints available. So next we're going to look at all-in-twos. Like an all-in-one, they come in either a Velcro or a popper fastening. This one is popper and also birth to potty because you've got the rise poppers on the front. Again, you've got the PUL waterproof outer, but inside it's slightly different in that you have your absorbent part, but when used, when this bit's wet, you can simply remove it, pop that in the wash, and get a second one and pop it in. This means you can reuse this waterproof shell up to 4 times, assuming you've not got any solids that have leaked onto it, which makes it a bit more affordable because these bits will be cheaper to buy. When set up and prepped like this, it's no more difficult to use than an all-in-one, so again great for out and about, childcare, etc. It's also faster drying than an all-in-one because you can remove the absorbent part and then let the air circulate fully around it. So finally we're going to look at the pocket nappy. Again, these are available in Velcro and popper and in a newborn and birth to potty size. Kind of like an all-in-one, again you've got your waterproof outer and then your absorbent bit inside. The difference is, with a pocket, is the absorbent part comes completely out of the nappy and separates it off. So again, you can imagine this allows the air to circulate so these dry really quickly. They also work out really economical because you can stuff them, although a lot of them come with inserts, you can stuff them with kind of whatever you've got to hand. Flannels or tea towels, inserts you've got from other nappies, making them really cost effective. It also means you can customise exactly what the absorbency is in the nappy to suit your baby. Again, like an all-in-one, if you prep these beforehand, they're no more difficult to use than a disposable, so they're great for childcare, etc. So next we're going to talk about liners. There's 2 main reasons to use a liner. One is to help keep your baby dry, and the other is to help with the removal of solids. A lot of nappies, such as the all-in-ones, all-in-twos and pockets, tend to have a stay dry liner built into the nappy, so a liner isn't always necessary on these unless you want it for the solids purposes. There's 2 types of liners available. There is a disposable liner, such as this one, which after use, you simply take out the nappy and pop into the bin. A lot of them are marketed as flushable, but they're really not, and I wouldn't risk putting them down the toilet. You can also get a reusable liner, which is typically a piece of fleece, which after using you take out of the nappy and just pop in the wash along with your nappies. And finally, we're going to talk about boosters. These look quite similar to the reusable liners in the same sort of size and shape, but the difference being is these aren't stay dry. They're an absorbent part that you insert under the stay dry liner within a nappy in order to give you more absorbency. They can be made out of many different materials. This one's hemp, this one's cotton. You can also get microfiber, bamboo and charcoal. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content.